catch up on a lot of the home action that's been brewing. Couple of games that they're going to be playing is going to be, yeah, it's going to be really crucial. And let's head over to that map, Vito, like you said. So Vertigo taken off the table right off the bat. I was hoping to see some Vertigo overpass out as well. Anubis, it's not a map that I've seen a lot of South Asian teams have prowess on so far, so it's good to see teams go in towards that ancient route, but I hope that happens to Anubis soon. Not gonna lie.
Me too. I'm a big fan of Anubis as well, but for now we're gonna have to be looking at this Inferno for map 1, the only map in this best of 1 between these two teams. And it does seem like they are, getting pretty close to ready, or I'm pretty sure they've actually gotten super close to being ready. So to move on forward throughout this one, I think we have the game ready itself. So let's just jump right into this. It's already 6-3 for Marcos Gaming. Random 5 starting to fall a little bit behind in this first side on their T half. So we're hopping on with Morph to see if he can kickstart something new.
Yeah, it looks like they've taken slow control towards top mid. Marcos Gaming not really in the best position to try trading off each other, so they're heavily reliant on the super spike going that direction. Ghost luckily makes his way around the corner before morphs into a beast himself. McGill's on the other side just demolishes the presence towards Banana, and that just blows this in the side of Marcos Gaming. Random 5 assumed that they were trying to go for that split aggression, but that only works if you're really meticulous with it. If you're not, this kind of ends up the scenario, right? You lose 2 members, there's no trade potential, there's nothing really you can salvage except for maybe a couple of prayers.
We do have a couple flashes, Molotov and smokes to work with, but in a 3 versus 5, this is getting easy, and McGill's before going down takes down another Riders with the AWP, just going to be blocked off by the smoke, so maybe a chance for Random 5 to get this bomb down. See if you can swing things in your own side. The kill on the Rider might give them an edge here, but with these AKs, it is still advantage to Random 5. Ghost and Zero are going to turn the corner, take down these T's, and an easy defuse, pick up that AWP. They're going to find their 7th.
Felt like somewhat of a confusing retake for me, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't see a lot of utility layer. It was raw gunfights taken through the smoke. And you mentioned it that you've not really had as much viewing experience in SA. It's gonna be a lot of those 2ETK kind of plays, man. You're gonna see people rush through smokes, spam through smokes. Smokes are essentially an invitation rather than something to deter. They invite chaos here in this region. I'm looking to see a whole lot more chaos in a map like Inferno, man, where the smokes generally buys a little bit of safety for other regions. It's the complete opposite here.
Again, it does look like McGill's going to put some early pressure down Banana, as a complete shutdown in the previous round. It is somewhat of a broken buy for Random 5. AK in the hands of Morph and Wolfie. 2 Mac 10s for Nasty and Destroyer, but Thunder just going to be settling for that Tech 9.
Yep.
There's going to be quite a miracle right now for Red Chicken if they're going to walk away with this round. And yeah, as soon as they peek out just from seconds, it is mincemeat for Random 5. Marcos Gaming just continue to plunder throughout this CT side.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you kind of have to rely on the flash leading the way, right? You have a flash, you have them just rush down apps, and you have control towards pit, then you stand a chance. They didn't even get down the apps from the first place. They just went straight into the body bag. Now, they're in recession. They have nothing but Tech 9s, a couple of Deagles. At this point, they're just relying on Marcos to try and play this a little ultra aggro so that they might get that opening, but it's far from the case, man. Especially on a map like Inferno, without having that neutral, it's really hard to try and facilitate some of these fights. You can see that everywhere they just walk in, there's gonna be a move down. In fact, McGill kills his own teammate rather than letting Random 5 and quick fire.
It's the closest right now that you and I have seen for Random 5 collecting a few of these kills in the previous rounds. I mean, they had the close one a couple back, but I mean, right there, Marcos Gaming just determining their presence down mid. You see Zero Cool so confident in pushing forward, 12 and 5 from himself. I mean, you look at a couple of these performances from Marcos Gaming as well. Riders on that AWP, he's 14 and 5. So lights out, Marcos. They come in with a job, and let me tell you, they're laying down the law at the moment. Deep Molotov in from Riders. But he's going to force some of this pressure from Random 5 down through Banana. A lot of damage going to be done onto Destroyer. In fact, the HG is going to finish that kill off. So Marco's still pulling away with these first kills.
Yeah, it's just the utter bombardment that happens towards Banana. The Molotov, the smoke, nade to then push them back. Miguel's is relentless in his pursuit of kills as finally they get extinguished, but hey, it's still the man advantage for Marcos Gaming. They have positioning towards back A. But them giving these fights 1v1 without them being traded, that's the only lifeline that Random 5 have gotten. Hey, it's down to this 1 versus 2, right? It's the closest that they've ever gotten, though. And this has to amount to something. Yeah, timing is everything
this kill
here.
onto Zero Cool. All the way up top, Zero Cool has no idea. And you look over towards Defaulter, who found that kill all the way down through bottom mid. It's going to force Morph into a little bit of an unknown factor. It doesn't have the bomb either, so...
That's so far
34
away.
seconds.
Needs to make a move.
No.
Oh no. He wants to play this one chill. He wants to play this one slow. The timing really isn't in his favor. And I think Defaulter was just in audio range. He knows the play. He knows that the bomb's all the way down towards bottom mid. Oh no, he failed to jump. Time is gonna be very, very close to the wire. 10 seconds and Defaulter is holding the most default and passive angle. Ay. How do you play yourself
all he
in
needs.
a 1v1 101? Oh no.
It's just so many. There's just so many unknowns there for, you know, Morph, who, although Random 5, they battled tooth and nail throughout that round. They bring it back down to a 1 versus 1. The fact that Defaulter rotates all the way through Banana, finds the kill from bottom mid, it just provides that unknown for Morph, who has to go collect that bomb now and spend so much time trying to find somewhat of information onto where these Marcos players are. And instead, it's going to be double digits for Marcos Gaming. Back onto the MAC-10 for Thunder. Galil for Destroyer. Morph was able to carry over that AK. So the buy-up is going to be light on some utility. But finally, for Random 5, they get that initial frag. Immediately traded out by Ryder in this AWP, though.
It's been the mid-round where Random 5 have come alive. That's what we're trying to eye for here. Sure, their weaponry is somewhat subpar. Strategy, though, can make up for it. If they find their timing into this B bomb site, they can find McGill's on his lonesome, untradeable. And that would be the most ideal way for them to carry forward this round. Hey, Marcos Gaming, with them defaulting to this 2-2 split, regardless where Random 5 go, if they group together, they still will have that man advantage, right? At this point, considering the HP that Wolfie possesses, what, 13 HP, you might as well send him first with the MAC-10, set the trade up around him. Rather, the utility dump, that's fairly substantial. The trade does come in, though, in the nick of time, and somehow Random 5 is still holding on to this round.
Now they have to be worried about the AWP. Nasty's going to clear it out through the smoke. Defaulter, a little bit of a freebie to continue keeping this one competitive. Wolfie might get the bomb down, but only 13 HP. Defaulter's going to get the go-ahead to just run it through as soon as that smoke dissipates. And another round for Marcos Gaming, just continuing here on their 14th. They're going to give themselves 11. And Defaulter, what a lovely, lovely couple of rounds we just got out of him. Not only that, McGill's and the pressure that you're seeing from that banana control for Marcos Gaming. So much stalling from Marcos. You need to see Random 5 start to contest for the space.
Exactly. And even if you don't contest with the space, at least do the opposite, right? If they're throwing so much util down banana, take early control of A apartments, like they did in the round prior.
Exactly.
They got that opening as well. So you just try playing around the aggro here. At least this time they're fighting fire with fire, right? A Molotov for a Molotov. They try to deny top banana control while they try to regain banana themselves here, random 5. Meanwhile, it's a brawl towards mid. Banana presence hasn't been going one good for random 5. And they come down to the 3v3,
However,
but every time we do see them in this situation, it seems like Marco's Gaming just have that neutral game slightly better.
Yeah, Marco's Gaming have been fantastic on these retakes. This time around, doesn't seem like Nasty wants to get that bomb down right away. Love the aggression. And it's going to blindside Marco's Gaming, leaving Riders with the bomb in hand, but has to walk into the enemy. Wolfie there with the AWP of his own, gonna at least solidify a 4th round for random 5 before we swap inside of the half. Marco's Gaming leaving 11-4, as they're gonna be on the side. Welcome back, everybody. After a short little commercial break, we're hopping in with the second half of Inferno between Random 5 and Marcos Gaming. Once again on the mic, myself, Seymour, and the Low Res Chicken. And Low Res Chicken, I mean, coming off that half, Marcos Gaming, they were looking like they were not doing anything wrong.
I mean, that defense that they put up was kind of beautiful, man. There was no stones left unturned, right? The aggression towards Banana, perfect. The pick and play that they had towards the top of mid and towards Boiler paid its dividends. They had control almost top down under. It's only those iffy mid-round situations that kind of went the other way, but even their retakes kind of made up for it in that sense. So I'd say they had a pretty successful half. Now, on the T side, it becomes a slightly different story. Now, you need to be the one who not only has a plan, but you need to be the one who draws a narrative in this T side. You need to give the CTs enough reason and rhyme to be on the lines of caution so that when they flirt with risk, they are pretty, deterred. It's a very, very interesting half just due to the fact that it shouldn't have gone all the way to 11-4, in my opinion. A couple of those rounds, if a couple of those situations went the other way, we would have been down the, lines of maybe even a 9-6, which feels like a much more doable ask. Just because of the fact that the half went in this fashion, Random 5 need everything good going their way from the get-go, which means a pistol victory, they need a clinical bonus round, and then the buy round. If everything pans out brilliantly, they'll be 2 rounds away from the equalizer. So I feel like even in the most optimistic situation, it feels like a hard ask.
Yeah, and I mean, for Random 5, their mid-round adaptations have been fantastic throughout, especially their T side. How is that going to transition over to their CT side? Well, you got to look, like you said, to be more proactive, control some more of that space. Maybe mirror Marcos Gaming and stalling out over towards Banana as much as you can. Those early to late round engagements for Random 5 were a big struggle point for them back on their T side. So for CT, let's see if they can lock that down, turn it around, and start this comeback here on Inferno. It seems like we're going to get a little bit of a group to Banana, and Random 5 opting in for a 4-stack over towards top mid.
Very surprising. Yeah, at this point, it seems like Marcos Gaming have this one thoroughly wrapped up strategically. They still need to pull the trigger. They still need to call for bullets, and Thunder just struck twice. And that's safety. Right on the bat, a man advantage at this point. I think Random 5 are going to be comfortably playing the retake.
Thunder striking twice a couple times with these dualies in hand. It was a huge start for Random 5 on this retake, although Wolfie going to be able to at least call one back for Marcos Gaming. It is going to be a 2 versus 4 to get this bomb down. It has not happened just yet, and Random 5 so good on that 4-stack over towards top mid. They just continue to adapt and, follow up to that pressure through Banana. Nice to close the gap so quickly.
I almost forgot that Dizel Curry had a voice set in CS. It's been a while since I've listened to one of those bangers. But it's been a while since we've seen Random 5 pick up rounds as well, right?
Yeah, it's either the Denzel Curry or it's Halo or Easy Friends for me.
Yeah, that's the jam. That's our vibe.
That is our vibe. Thunder.
At this
another
case,
initial frag. He can turn it into 2 though. McGill able to collect one. It's gonna be up to Destroyer to shut that down, and he does. So a little bit extra cash in the pockets of Destroyer.
And an M4 on default. That's the big thing, It's a little scary when you go up close and personal when there is nothing but pistols up against you. Kind of makes you think that when you have the range, why don't you abuse it? Marcos Gaming, they have somewhat of a read as to what the situation is, where they heard 2 steps towards B. They know it's a split defense that Random 5 orchestrate. Slow and contact play rewards them. Could be the double, and if it is, it goes around wide open. More holds on to DL life and holds on to the round for Random 5. They cannot afford more casualties. This needs to be a clean round. Considering the comeback that they have, they need the economy, they need the momentum, and more importantly, they need to look like they're a threat.
Yeah, and Wolfie's already here too, so Morph is not alone in this conflict. So Ryder's going to be in a tough spot. The Tech-9 still able to at least find yet another one. Ryder just looking to do the most with his M4. Deal some damage to Random 5. Make this a little bit more expensive than you were hoping for, but with the rest of the players here from Random 5, Ryder is not going to be able to expect this one. Wolfie's just going to tuck away, finish that job. Wasn't clean at all in the bonus, but Random 5 now they can hope to buy up.
It can, I think change up the aggro is what would be the right play, right? The aggression towards Banana, even though it's layered with util, setting that play with the M4A1S first rather than the MP9 seems like somewhat of a blunder. So small things that could be rectified if done right could change the course of this game. And heck, we still have the rest of the second half to witness. Random 5, they have another round where if they win clinically, they get somewhat of a boost in terms of their economy, which is something that will really fuel this very big and very exhausting comeback, at least in retrospect. Pistols have found value, and again, in a region like South Asia, you really need to respect their prowess. Those off angle,
oh yeah,
played by Ghost, although well handled by Random 5, not letting this trade fest go beyond hand, just denying that first trade to disable everything that Marco's Gaming were attempting in a round like this. And hey, Random 5, they're just 4 rounds behind, man. They're slowly closing in on that gap.
I would say as expected here on Inferno. You know, Random 5 definitely putting up quite a bit of a fight here on their CT side. I'm loving the contact plays through A, playing around CT apps, kind of forcing Random 5 into these chokeholds. Yep. But now that we get the rifles in the hands of Marcos Gaming, this is where the match truly starts in this side. And Random 5, who are struggling so much against the AWP of Ryder and the initial engagements from Defaulter. This one's going to be tough, and here it is, Ryder deletes Thunder with that op.
Just waited for him. And the man just defs it right out the bat. Random 5, does this force desperation is the question. As you can see, Ghost was in the perfect time and place to catch that desperation, but Zero Cool takes it a step ahead, takes the aggro, and decapitates Wolfie. And advantage still on the side of Marcos Gaming, and they are still well and truly split. So if Random 5 decided to play this one aggro, it could have changed the way this round is. But now it
that
seems
kill
like
was
Random 5
everything.
have made that right call. Although Marcos Gaming navigate this. They navigate this by finding that one clear avenue towards Arch, which leaves this all on a Morph.
Yeah, they should know. Morph is going to be the only one back here. 46 seconds. Morph gonna have to do enough to slow the roll and allow for this rotation from the rest of the team. And he can hear all the information there, but Ghost is able to weed it out. A quick kill from Marcos Gaming. Gonna force the issue from Destroyer, but the bomb goes down and things falling apart for Random 5. Marcos Gaming just continuing to collect now as they got the rifles in their hand. They're back in full force.
I honestly love the way that Random 5 deal with this, because you can see with the way Marcos Gaming are set up in the mid round, they're looking for that punish, right? They're looking for that push. Random 5 did their best not to give it to them. They still got that pick towards B, and Marcos Gaming was so split that they were always able to have that trump card, that they want to go A, but that they want to go B, and how they want to end this. So it's one thing to have that trump card, it's one thing to properly use it.
And they get the AWP out of Nasty's hands.
Yeah, a big piece out of the hands of Random 5, which means that the force that they could have potentially gone in for now is deterred. I'm pretty sure this has to be a half buy, and this has to basically give Marcos Gaming that 13.
It's an economic nightmare for Random 5. This is definitely a really big ask for the force up into this round, especially considering that you're giving up chances of, you know, starting a domino effect into the future of this game. Marcos Gaming just in full control of Inferno. And now again, you're relying on these Deagles to see if they can pop off, and right away Morph's gonna get cleared. You know that contact play is gonna be here. It has been the name of the game for Random 5 on their CT side. And Nasty at least able to get one back. Wolfie, beautiful shot onto the next. This thing's not going as expected for Marcos Gaming as they are put to a complete halt. Nasty's going to be here on the wing. Wolfie all alone in pit.
He does it, right? Surely he does it, right?
Tucked away.
1v3,
Do they
he's
clear this?
outnumbered.
They do clear it, but Wolfie finds another one.
Bro, this is unbelievable. If they pull this round out, Destroyer has himself that AK, no armor, so he needs to be clinical in his approach.
Yeah.
Seconds on the clock, dodges
Flash out.
They're wary to clean that position. At Molly, force him on the aggro stance, takes the better of it. 70 seconds, 70 HP. Yeah, this angle being well watched for. This almost turned out to be
there's
the
plenty of
classic
time
case of
to get
the
that.
Eagle, man.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to get that bomb down too, so Ryder was not feeling any pressure to, force that bomb plant right away. It's an excellent call from Marcos Gaming to instead, force some individual engagements on Random 5 there, give them the 1v1s. I love the double up there to just work together.
Yeah, exactly, man. That double up is what changes it, right? Giving an isolated fight. You're taking fights with utility and with your comrades. Although, the attempted fight towards mid deterred and Random 5 not taking that aggressive stance. They're giving up control of Banana, they're not taking control of A-Abs. This means that Random 5 eventually are going to be very patient, right? This timing of the push could mean everything, and they've lost the B site. Unbelievable, man. They get positioning, but then they get outlucked. And they get the bomb.
Morph is just tucked away here, so that's bomb down. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of reminiscence from the opposite side when Marcos Gaming were just lurking in these so unorthodox positions and catching that bomb carrier on rotation so often. And now look at this. They have a crossfire on this bomb. I mean, Random 5, they're in such a great spot, but the smoke is going to be able to block them off. But through the smoke, Wolfie finds another one, cutting down these players. Zero Cool down to 33 HP.
Gets the spike, barely able to make it back in the corner, but he's alone. He's isolated. They get this one player. They shit his.
Oh, no way.
Essentially, it's on the ground. Oh, right.
No way.
Good shot on the board, and it's now 1 versus 2. Wolfie, he's been a beast before. He could be a beast again. He rises up on the clutch. 30 days. Random 5 still alive on the back of heroics yet again.
Yeah, Wolfie has been keeping Random 5 in so many opportunities for these round wins. And there again, I mean, it gets very dangerous for them with those individual peaks onto Zero Cool and Ryder. It just seems like Marco's Gaming so comfortable in these individual plays. And they really putting the pressure on Random 5. Quick with the Mac 10 defaulter, looking to see if he can run it down Banana. The Molly is going to be extinguished by the smoke, so it looks like you want to get up close and personal with this SMG, but nobody's going to be home to be on the receiving end of it.
On contrast, Random 5 game was how they attempted banana control towards their CT side, right? It feels like Random 5 are giving up banana control a little easier, and it leads to Marcos Gaming just having a very open mid round. Random 5 have been falling prey to a couple of these Wild West shots, and at this point it feels like you're watching this on rinse and repeat. Dude, what nightmare am I stuck in?
The random one.
Are you serious? Not like this, dude! They're just walking up to them! They're walking
Okay, Destroyer, maybe a little bit of damage control here. Gonna upgrade to the M4, but at the same time, Zero Cool has a Galil. McGill's is a Galil. Ghost has been undeniable on this Deagle. And Ryder now with his AWP in hand.
They're saving! Oh god.
Random 5 had no way back into that one. And like I said before, this is an economic nightmare for the team. They just completely fall deeper into the depths of Inferno, deeper into the belly of the beast that is this best of one. I mean, you need to see a turnaround in these early portions of the rounds, or this is just going to be a continuing factor for Random 5, and Thunder's not even going to be able to take this FAMAS into the next round. Destroyer's not even going to be taking the M4, so lovely cleanup there from Marcos. Random 5, they're in a bad spot.
I can't believe what we're seeing. See, that's the difference, right, between Marcos Gaming and Random 5. Marcos Gaming, when they were on the defense, they used the privilege of you decide where you take the fight to the maximum. Random 5 in that round were caught off guard in every single position across the map. So without having that kind of group information, it's really... That guy just got right. Wow.
It's just so simple. It's so simple for them. Just to run on a site with these Mac 10s and just completely eviscerate Random 5 in these moments. Hasty just hoping for an angle through the smoke. There is a gap, but not able to land that shot. The Deeg. Players continuing to fall. Ghost now in a little bit of a pinch. McGill's going to be able to back him up. Wolfie to deny that 15th round, to keep them in it. There's no way with this pressure that Marcos is putting on. 15 rounds collected. And it looks like Inferno, I mean, it is going to take a miracle for Marcos Gaming to lose this.
This game has been nothing but miracles for Marcos Gaming. Like, some of the rounds, some of these frags, they're straight up criminal, man. Like, you can't justify this on any given day, Seymour. The court will always be against you. But surprisingly not against Marcos. They have match point, and again, this being a best of one, rounds like those really do cost you those sleepless nights. So I hope for Random 5's sake that they take this down, but at least learn from it. And hey, don't need the match to end learn from it. Looks like they've already taken a page out of Marcos Gaming's books and played the aggro card well. Although Cool, there's no way out Master the Master himself, right? He is just laying fire to Random 5's defense, and he looks to end this single-handedly. The quad kill to take this one home. 16-8. Marcos Gaming just flexing on the server.
Yeah, Zero Cool just flexing his ability to walk on site unannounced. I mean, so easy for Zero Cool there to just walk in, collect those kills like it is just a walk in the park. How fast he was to make that play. Literally zero pressure on him. You say he's laying down the fire. He was laying down the cool right there. I love what I'm seeing out of Marcos Gaming. Such an electric team to watch. It is able to make something out of nothing so often and just, like you say, overpowering, bullying their way onto sites. Random 5, although they were putting up quite a fight in a lot of those rounds, it just seems like they couldn't step up to the firepower that was Marcos Gaming.
I feel like firepower aside, even tactically, they were a little shallow compared to what Marcos Gaming had to offer, especially on that attack, right? Even though they were somewhat split on most of the rounds where they took A control and banana control, in a lot of those rounds, you did get to witness that either McGill's or somebody ends up pushing a smoke, getting 2 frags, and there's no counter frag or there's no trade even visible from the side of Random 5. So quite often they play against what, a 3v5 as it heads into the hit and there's 50 seconds left on the clock. You don't really leave yourself much wiggle room and much opportunity at that situation, and that's what ended up costing them the demise. Not only a tactical diff, but again, some of these gunfights were straight up unfortunate, my man.
Yeah, straight up unfortunate. But it's good for Marcos Gaming the way that they're able to, you know, show up and perform inside of the league for at least today. Definitely a team that we're gonna have to pay attention to for the rest of the league for this top 8 in the in this 2023 CS:GO League presented by Blink Esports. They are just putting on such a great show. I can't wait to see more of Marcos Gaming. And for Random 5, I mean, you know, going forward from this moment, it just begs the question of, you know, where is the next step for you? Because it definitely, you can see how a little bit of disconnection, a little bit, like you say, not a lot of depth to their plays. And going forward throughout this tournament, I mean, there's still a lot of days to play. There's still a lot of time to turn this around for your team. So it's just, what steps are you going to take to turn it around?
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, you have not only teams like Marcos Gaming who are out to prove a name for themselves, but you have teams like God's Reign who have won fairly significant tournaments in the recent past and have had really good form. So in this situation, I'd say it's more about trying to have not only good results against teams like God's Reign. Of course, if you're a new team, we're not expecting you to take an entire dub off them. But in games like these, where, for example, Random 5 had the chance to claw back in that second half, if they showed a little more resilience, if they showed a little more form, if this got a little more closer, that would have at least to some extent given them a boost in terms of, okay, we're in the right direction, we have the right ideas in paper, but the execution might be a little sloppy. Again, in a couple of those rounds we did see the right idea, but a couple of those key utils were not in place. Like for example, the round that they wanted to rush out A apps, you generally would want to accompany a smoke and maybe flashes with that. The one flash missing led to the entire place being an entire blender fest, man. The
Yeah.
crunch really didn't work. Then later we tried to see the same thing towards banana, but they just simply got out utiled in that situation, not really getting a good read on timing and util. So it's those smaller adjustments and read to the game that will really help you in the long run against these teams. If you are able to throw them off in that short run, you'd be able to get enough of an edge in the playing field to then maybe have a trump. But I guess we'll have to just wait a little longer and just hope that not only are they able to learn from this, but there would be more events like this in the near future for them to maybe pick up on and have a little more experience before you head into something like maybe a big LAN.
Yeah, it's fixing those small little mistakes for sure. Marcos Gaming throughout Inferno, they had the brain and the brawn, and they're going to walk away with that game. You brought up God's Reign. We got them coming up next. It's God's Reign versus Wasted Potential in another best of one here on stream. So we're going to take a little bit of a break on the desk, throw things to a commercial break for ourselves. When we come back, another best of one for us to close the night. We'll see you on the other side, everyone. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2023 Blink Entertainment Pro League. We just got through our first match in a best of one where we saw Marcos Gaming absolutely dominate on Inferno, and that's going to bring us into our second match of the day. Myself is Seymour alongside Low Res Chicken as we are looking in on this one. Let's talk a little bit of getting into this next match, Low Res Chicken.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game by all stretch at the margins, man. You have God's Reign, who themselves have been on quite a reign lately. They've had a tremendous show of form, and this is a tournament where they can not only exercise that but also flex a little harder and for a little longer. And up against them is a team which is filled with a lot of nice characters and good old friends. It's wasted potential. So you have people like Velocity on the server who, if we ever have a mic'd up section in this entire event, I want that one person to be Velocity because he's always the most charismatic person. Let it be while winning, let it be while losing. He always knows how to drive his morale. He always knows how to, bring in a little bit of a personal strife in the game. He'll be like, bro, that guy dominated you the other day. So this is your chance to come back and get a little bit of that action running in. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And hey, both these teams, they have incredible players in the mechanical sense of it. But last game, we did see how a little bit of setup and a little bit of foresight really takes you a long way, right? That's what I hope that doesn't blindside team wasted potential, because teams like God's Reign, who have had that streak of form, really don't let these areas slip up, especially in games like this where it's just about asserting who's boss.
Exactly. We saw that last match. Macros Gaming, they asserted themselves as the bosses of the match going forward. And I love the fact that you're bringing up the charisma of these players, because I love that. I absolutely love that. Whether it's 15-15 or whether it's 15-8 going into the later portions of the game, I love to see players who are just always able to bring that fire, able to bring that energy, turn things around on a dime. And I think sometimes that's what you need when you're going through a league like this. You need to be able to double back and double down when you are going through the thick of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing if this team, maybe once it was wasted potential, but maybe this potential is not going to be so wasted going into it. I do want to take a look, if we do get into this matchup screen though, at both of these teams, because you were mentioning going into this that God's Reign kind of, I'd say, one of the top dogs you'd be looking at going into this league. So you feeling like this is the team that we're gonna have to be favoring going into this match?
I mean, at least statistically, yes, man. God's Reign have been on a very good streak lately. So if they're able to keep that up, this tournament should be wrapped up and in their bags. Again, wasted potential, one of those teams which have very noticeable players, which have the potential to pull off upsets. This being a best one does promote that, right? You have the opportunity to get off to a good start with a pistol. You get the buy round. You get a couple of decent clutches going your way. You have a nice half. Then you back the second half pistol. It's like the game is almost yours. That best of one randomness is what God's Reign needs to avoid. And the only way you can avoid that is by being tactically sound.
I think that's like the one thing we did get to see, when it comes down to a lot of, best of ones in CSGO, is that if your map pool isn't, I guess, very broad and you can get punished on certain vetoes, that it might kind of turn out like not so in your favor very easily. You could get punished off of that, and then that's where like the games are not so forgiving in your favor for best of ones here. So starting off strong is definitely going to be a forefront. I think we have our map vetoes to look at, though, to see where we're going, because it's going to be important for where we land between both of these teams. You were talking about how you wanted to see Anubis come out. I would love to see Anubis. Maybe something a little bit wacky, like an ancient pick even. I feel like so often we just get left on Inferno or Mirage. I want a little bit of a curveball.
Exactly, dude. A little bit of a curveball is all we ask for. Even an overpass, it really makes a very dynamic defense on overpass where you get aggressive.
I love
towards the
overpass.
late round, and yeah, exactly. So if you just maybe force them in an uncomfortable map, but again, God's Reign really don't have much of a weakness in terms of map pool. So wasted potential. I'm looking forward to them bringing on a little bit of cheese. Is what I think that can change this matchup. Let us go to a familiar map. Let us go to something like an overpass, but let's see a little bit of cheese left in. Maybe that 4-man stack towards despawn, something along the lines of a stack near the playground area. Things like those where you get maybe a crucial opener on a buy round where you secure the round. It gives you so much more leverage over the matchup. Things like those are really what we need to be eyeing for. And again, wasted potential considering the players that they have, considering the experience on this roster, just individually. There's a lot that I'm expecting. Never mind. Never mind. Bro, we hyped it so much.
Man,
And again.
I was gonna say, I'm like, we're sitting here. We're wanting the Anubis. We want the Ancient. Maybe even a Vertigo. I wouldn't be upset if I even saw a Vertigo come out. But, I guess it's not so bad for wasted potential going to a map like Inferno. You're asking for, a comfortable map to go to. And, I mean, it doesn't get more comfortable than this. But, man, I just wanted something to change. I think that's 3 times now I've seen Inferno picked here inside of this league. We need something to change up quickly for this one. But, again, ran it back towards this match for both of these teams. For wasted potential's sake, I feel like this was a good pick for them.
Yeah, the wasted potential on a map where it's somewhat stable. Let's see if they can throw God's Reign off. It does also bring about the prowess individually, right? A map like Inferno, we've seen it in the map prior. We could see right in the pistol round as Headshot opens it off as his name suggests. Although God's Reign up a man advantage could have been nullified, but Pokemon escapes with a slither of HP. There's no real estate though. Despite wasted potential taking so many fights, they've not gained anything. Now they need to quickly rush to compensate for whatever they've lost in the early game.
And that comes from, wasted potential just taking so much of their own space right off the initial for this half Pokemon, 14 HP, pistols. Might be able to remove him from Graveyard real easily, but Finn's here to help out. Pokemon's able to peak. Velocity now going to be the only one left standing for wasted potential, so an easy cleanup there for God's Reign. Very well handled pistol round, especially that aggression that we saw right off the bat.
Yeah, at that point, it kind of had a little bit of time, right? Wasted potential did not need to completely force into this. I feel like they could have flexed a little banana control. God's Reign really read into this well. They knew exactly what's up. They dealt with it very efficiently. It's all about keeping this clean. It's all about keeping this tidy. Did not give them a chance, and it all starts from round 2. It all starts from keeping it clean against these pistols, which has been a problem in the previous matchup. God's Reign looked to do right what's been done wrong a lot of times.
Oh, Finn. A couple of these players on wasted potential, isolated by the Molotovs. I mean, this is just some fantastic utility from God's Reign early on. Wasted potential have nowhere to go. Finn has 2 kills with his MP9. So much money into the banks of God's Reign going forward. Pokemon just looking to tap away and clean up the rest. It is, a last hurrah there from Nox, maybe able to take down 1, but other than that, that is a picture-perfect bonus round for God's Reign.
Yeah, considering the trend that we've been having all evening, that's a refreshing change, bro. That's a whole lot of what I want to see from God's Reign. Wasted potential, of course, they will be able to draw into the buys, so with them having 5 AKs, a slight compromise in way of utility. I think the way you'd compensate for this is by taking the early fight, getting early advantages, and then trying to play the mid-round slow. Of course, that's the mid-round, right? God's Reign, they are W in their way past the flames. Yellow Flash, good to get the first and disengage. The latter being the more important. They have the man advantage. They can concede and play chill.
Okay.
Waste potential, draw the aggro towards A. They get the frag towards A, and they look to get a whole lot more. Then diligent and falls back as well.
And no respect shown with these smokes. Would have loved to see maybe a flash out. Set up your teammates. Still finding these kills, though. Headshot Special is able to take down Revan, sitting over towards the pit. Finn trying to do as much as he can into this round. That's 2 kills with his M4. But with that bomb going down, 3 players left alive. Although a headshot special is on 1 HP. Yellow Flash is on 25. I mean, technically, when you look at the numbers for us, this is a winnable round for Finn. But at the same time, without him knowing that, knowing what we know, saving this M4 is definitely going to be important. Especially like taking this armor into the next round as well.
Look at the economy, right? You look at the teammates that he has. Pokemon is on 1300. Crazy Gamer has a lot of money to reinvest. Revan can get the op. Ember can reinvest. Yeah, carry forward this one M4. It's a full buy yet again for God's Reign. Potential. They got the plant. They got the bomb. They got 3 members up. Their economy should be on an upward trend. Either side will have more than enough money to invest into this round. So this is a rare round early on in the first half. Both teams having everything that could have ever asked for. The only thing that now makes a difference is the strategy. Because at the end of the day, God's Reign, even if they have a FAMAS, they choose where they take the fights.
Marcos Gaming was so keen on this banana control from the B site early on. God's Reign, it seemed like they had a want to repeat the same, but a little bit late to the, I guess, initial push towards bananas, so wasted potential are going to have a little bit to work with on this side of the map. You do see a little bit of poking and prodding of Frag all the way through mid, coming out from wasted potential, so now it's going to force God's Reign to see if they can pull some spacing back. Molotov again going to isolate a kill there onto Headshot Specialist. Pokemon is going to collect 2 elsewhere. They shut the gates on wasted potential. Ember is going to be low, so not all is done just yet. Yellow Flash is going to be going to collect that bomb all the way from spawn. And it looks like God Reign will be giving up this B site.
I mean, they're making the smart play. The B side might be a little harder to retake, but they'll have the hard man advantage and Ember to play bait on 19 HP. They stacked A side.
Wait, I like
45
this.
seconds left. The only way this goes south is if Yellow Flashes win the fight, but not to be the case whatsoever. A done round and all regard. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. That just happened.
2 ships sailing in the night past each other without even knowing.
Oh shit, they're shooting each other, dude. What's happening?
Shooting each other? What is this round going on? And Evil Prince, he's like, what is this? What is going on? He's gonna hear all the shooting going through. Crazy Gamer's like, okay, well, I don't know where this guy is. Evil Prince, he's not gonna make any noise. He's just gonna post up and wait, take this AK to the next round. But I mean, so much opportunity there. I didn't mind Yellow Flash waiting for the aggression through mid, see if you can catch somebody on rotation, and then possibly take this bomb over towards A for a late round rotate. Yeah. But unfortunately, when Yellow Flash goes down and the bomb follows with him, it puts Evil Prince in such a bad spot. And, you know, now wasted potential. Gonna have to force up on some deagles. You see a Tech 9 in the hand of Nox. Minimal util as well. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and an HE. And yeah, a timeout going to be called. Give them time to talk things over.
Legit, man. I think that's the best thing to do in this situation. They had a mid-round plan. I see that pivot having some strategical sense to it. It's just the timing really isn't favoring them whatsoever. I think the way you kind of deal with this is how you modulate your presence, right? They've been showing fairly less presence to take their first point of contact. Let it be towards mid, let it be towards banana. I think you fairly just push it a little bit. Maybe take top banana and threaten the side a little bit. Take apps and threaten side. That way you really force a rotation, and then God's Reign has something to worry about. So far, they've just been reliant on their calls, and their calls have been right. Wasted potential.
Well, this time around,
still has the chance to take this fight, but the flash just a pixel off, I suppose. What? Okay, this is the opening.
Oh, maybe 2? Yes! Why not?
The B-side stairs! This is what they've been vying for. An op for free. At this point, God's Reign might even contemplate a save.
Oh, there's a gap in the smoke. It's going to be 2 forced out just for the cross. Oh. Pokemon is going to be able to collect a kill onto a headshot special, so there is a chance for a flank out here. And with these upgraded guns, wasted potential, still in a good spot to win this one out. Velocity is going to be able to shut down that flank player. Pokemon no longer going to be here. 2 versus 3 for the retake. No utility to back things out. Narc's gonna have the easy fight. Finn now in with the AK. Up in the hands of Yellow Flash, tucked away all the way back into pillars. Seems like Finn's gonna have an idea of this one though, but as the bomb is ticking, Velocity's gotta check this one, and that's gonna be a free kill onto Finn to win things out. Wasted Potential with the eco buy wins out their second.
Velocity holds his nerves there in that 1 versus 1. Finn, I assumed he looked to stick it, right? He pretty confidently called the bluff. And Wasted Potential, they just get a single round, but that one round could be what causes them this start. They have a God's Reign who's substantially weaker now. Wasted Potential need to play this one somewhat smart. This blurred Yellow Flash almost catches him on the disengagement, but the reverse palm actually lands. Holy hell!
I mean, a little bit damage onto Pokemon, but you're going to take that trade all day long. Refid now going to be on a tight angle, but a chance to make it 2 if Wasted Potential are not going to expect this AWP or the Scout going to be in hand.
Yeah.
As soon as they hear it, it seems like Headshot Specialist wants to pick up the pace here, see if he can run it down.
Flash.
Crazy Gamer's gonna get flashed out. Finds nothing. No information off the back of that flash. They're just gonna drop a smoke and see if they can burn some more time with this clock.
Yeah, look at the utility though that Wasted Potential have. They have 1 flash, they have a couple of smokes, they have 3 Molotovs. They have the perfect util set to execute this beast sight and to do it in clinical fashion as well. Will they be wary of the timeline though? Oh no, Pokemon from the back lines. He whiffs! He whiffs! He doesn't get a single flash!
Look at the damage!
But it forces them into the site, it forces them into the play, it forces them into the stack, and God's Reign now stand in perfect vicinity to draw these fights one by one in excruciating fashion as Evil Prince has to watch his teammates and the round fall from their fingers. Ay ay ay. God's Reign.
2 back-to-back rounds from either squad.
Oh no.
Back-to-back force rounds from either side. Winning with the hero rifle in the hands. Pokemon might not get that initial frag on the flank through Banana, but enough damage that, like you said, it forces Wasted Potential to have to push on to B. As soon as they do, the rotations from God Reign overwhelm them. Now, moving into the next, they are just going to be collecting what is theirs and start to grow this lead that they have now accomplished.
Again, Seymour, that might have just been 1 round, but it's rounds like those that costed, you know, teams like by a landslide. It's sometimes the score really isn't an accurate representation of how close the game actually is. But at this point,
with how much, like, I mean,
yeah,
with how much CS:GO is just a sprint, not a sprint, it's marathon across, you know, these potential 30 rounds. I mean, rounds like that, it's frustrating to lose for Wasted Potential.
Exactly, dude.
And now, you know, if you keep losing rounds like that, you just have to be thinking, you know, the confidence drops. And then God's Reign, they're starting to, you know, stabilize. And they're starting to dominate a lot of these potential early engagements. And,
yeah,
I mean, Wasted Potential, they need to, you know... Yeah, the confidence goes a long way here in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, a confidence going... Like, for example, the amount of damage they did to the economy early on. Now it's kind of a jack. Everything is reset. God's Reign have made up for all their wrongs, and they have the chance to extend this even further. That is what scares me.
Oh, it
Wasted
seems like...
Potential still on just pistols. They're rushing down the B side, alright. There might be a little bit of a timing window that they could have caught. Smoke. They pounce on the back of this. They stand a chance to isolate the fight into its side, but they didn't line up. Knocks at these trades.
Oh,
1
yeah.
for 2. Oh no, Revan! The no scope! Man is a reaper behind that smoke.
Doesn't he have to look it on this one just yet? Finn just waiting for the contact off of that bomb plant. The sound cues give him that go-ahead. Pokemon, as soon as that smoke dissipates, going to remove that AK from the hands of Wasted Potential, leaving Velocity just all alone with full armor and a deagle. Not going to be able to land that shot and God's Reign going to collect their 6th. Only 2 players dropping for themselves in that last round. So not only are they starting to grow this lead now up by 4, but these players are starting to get a little rich.
Dude, what was that no scope? I'm still tripping, man. Holy crap, that is yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta take the shot.
Exactly, you miss every shot that you don't take. That's the main thing, right? Regardless, they've changed up the aggro this time. A complete swap up towards the stairs where the op lies and wait for Revan. Meanwhile, Banana, sure, they were contesting it, but fairly softly. They're more than ready to relinquish control. After getting that frag, it seems like Wasted Potential realized that A is out of their depth, hence they look to commit on towards this B side. From the early look at this, they are going to be walking into a Molotov, and the re-engagement is just so well timed with the utility. They're lucky that they overextended,
wonderful
otherwise
replayers.
this still would be been a 5v2.
They lose their lurk over towards A, so Wasted Potential are truly stuck in this position. Their re-clears from God's Reign, using their utility, layering them back into these gunfights. So good, so hard to battle against. And now Evil Prince drops the bomb all the way back towards bottom mid. Gonna leaving headshot special all alone into the round. Another one for God's Reign. It's just the way that they're working together throughout this one. I mean, the Revan repositioning that AWP back over towards apartments, able to find another first frag for the team to open up this round. Immediately, like you say, it closes off the potential of going towards A, so all of those players of God Reign who have B control, have banana control right off the bat, are working together, using those flashes just to feed information to each other, and they are dominating right now. Oh, what a shot from Yellow Flash.
Disgusting, dude. Does this guy have a breakfast? Ay, ay, ay. Looks like he's having a meal. But it's now. Hey, Ember, resilient in his effort to fight back, grabs himself the AK as well. At this point, money is just a number for them that they can mint. They really are.
Oh, they are perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's Wasted Potential.
I mean, look at Ember. He's crazy rich.
Dude, look at Evil Prince. He has that up. This is the chance. This is that moment. They need to start making some work out of what's left in this first half. There's still a chance for them to end this 8-7. But somebody needs to be the catalyst. In moments like these, velocity usually leads by example. Leads. In the front line.
He needs something, but look at Banana is being...
Exactly. It's being shoved, my man.
Crazy Gamer with all the space. Tucked away. Should be an easy raid from Wasted Potential with that deep that flashes. And yeah, Yellow Flash, he is. The idea that Crazy Gamer is going to get aggressive off that one. Now, for Wasted Potential, I wouldn't mind see them really biding their time here, looking for an opportunity to play off of each other. And it seems like they are really being thorough with this clear.
Yeah, they're denying aggressive space as well. A lot of time being burned, but Wasted Potential slowly but surely marching forward towards this ace side. They take the first line of contact, although well created by God's Reign thus far. Pokemon slightly aggressive on the re-entry, but it's Revan's push through Banana that seals it. Look at this, Wasted Potential yet again being boxed in, and they don't like it. Now they need to fight through, fight towards site, and Evil Prince, a quick scope towards Pokemon towards site. Sure, it leaves Revan in an doable 1 versus 2.
I mean, Nox has 22 HP, so I want to say this is totally out of the realm of possibilities. You said Evil Prince at AWP was going to be the focus point of this round. He finds a little bit of a change up now, switching over towards that AK. Revan slowly with the reads in towards the corner, but Nox is going to check it. Perfect crossfire indeed, gives Wasted Potential their third.
Again, in situations like that, HP, sure. If you're giving away those 1v1s, it's a problem. But with the way God's Reign have been playing, you'd assume that they'd have that one in the bag. Nice show of discipline by Wasted Potential so far. They've been able to somewhat wear this. It's a long journey, man. It's a very long journey, but it has to start by something. It has to start by one step. And Revan steps into the line of fire, into open arms to take that fight, still wins it.
Yeah.
Frags like these
Just
shouldn't be
seems like
allowed
they
by
can't
Wasted Potential,
pinpoint.
man.
They just can't pinpoint Revan at this,
Wow.
portion of the game. They don't have a read onto the AWP, and he is able to, run rampant, run free throughout this map. And not only that, Ember's going to double down into the round, so really putting Wasted Potential to the test here with these rifles. 3 members remaining on the team. You still have Evil Prince and this AWP, but the reflash in for Pokemon. Easy cleared on the opposite end towards B. Crazy Gamer still dominating that battle over towards Banana.
Almost had his chance for the second, but yeah. Just no chains on God's Reign. They think of it, they execute it, they do it. They don't double think themselves. At this point, you mentioned confidence, right? Confidence is one thing, but really getting into your zone is something completely else. Revan taking those op shots, feeling comfortable going for these, less than ideal engagements, still comes on top of it. You have these flash plays that work so well on timing. Sometimes tactics can be on point, but timing can betray it and just turn it all from heads to tails.
93. A couple more rounds for Wasted Potential to hopefully bring this half back and feel a little bit better for their swap over towards the CT side. Again, I mean, just look at the amount of space that Crazy Gamer is going to have over towards Banana. It is going to allow this rotation from Finn back over towards this A side. Look to see if you can reinforce with the rest of your team as soon as the smoke goes down. I am going to expect a little bit of a flash in for Ember. Here he goes. Swings it. Easy kill. Looking for 2. Not going to happen. Nox for the trade. But now going in. This is the hard part. Tucked away. Pokemon on the cross is Finn. Nox continuing to trade out. Crazy Gamer, who has been lurking over towards Banana, has found his way over in towards Apps. Nox should be able to have a read onto this one with the amount of noise Crazy Gamer is giving away. The bomb is going to be stuck in Apps. Nox going to have to chase a ghost now at this point. And Velocity watching it like a hawk. The read is there. Lovely at a Wasted Potential.
The trades just kept on going, dude. There was nothing that God's Reign could do to discontinue it. And Wasted Potential, they don't lose momentum, they don't lose sight of the man advantage, and very well handled in that 1 versus 2. Gives them the chance, it gives them the ability to stay relevant here in the first half, as God's Reign are forced to reinvest into their last penny. This God's Reign is not the rich God's Reign, it's not the strong God's Reign, it's a weak God's Reign, it's a god that has bled. Wasted Potential now need to show no mercy. They're well split yet again, with Velocity being this lurk towards the A apartments. Meanwhile, the rest of Wasted Potential contest hard and heavy for Banana. Well, they at least push God's Reign off, so God's Reign have substantially less information to work out of. So that could be a story that changes if Revan chooses to re-engage. Molotov slightly misses its mark. And Wasted Potential, for all the focus they've been putting at Banana, they've not gotten control towards apps or info. They've not gotten control towards win or info, but they've gotten kills on either.
It's important clear from Velocity. Crazy Gamer has been lights out with this Deagle, and yeah, slow and steady into the sights.
What a timing, dude.
Not yet confirmed to be the last point of contact here for Wasted Potential, but they just completely want to truck on. They bullied their way through. Couple kills there from Ember, but it's not going to matter at all. Pokemon 1 versus 2 now.
Ew.
After taking down Velocity. And again, I mean, this is definitely something that you would expect him to go in on, especially considering how good they've been in the past couple rounds. But will he be able to get this read onto Nox so close? Flash not going to clear it. Nox easy as ever. Headshot onto Pokemon. Removes the head from the shoulders. Gives them their 5th. So slowly but surely, Wasted Potential starting to find their groove here on Inferno.
Exactly. We were hoping for this, right? We were hoping that it doesn't become like a repeat of the first series that we had. The first best of 1, in fact. So Wasted Potential showing way more form, showing way more grit. And at this point, this is almost a given round for Wasted Potential, considering the weaponry and the utility deficit. It's all about bringing that one home. You can see that even despite that weaponry deficit, a couple of these God's Reign members are a little eager to go for those early picks. For example, you have Revan towards top mid who was trying to go for that 1D. But hey, waste the potential, tread in safety, tread in security. Molotovs lighting their way for their conquest here in this attack.
Crazy gamer. Oh no! What a snap!
Flick, yo. That's like an Aim Labs-esque flick. Sheesh, Louise.
She almost gets a second one too. Nox brought low. Finn on the other side of the smoke. Flash sent running to the hills, packing past that the second smoke. And you look at this from Wasted Potential. They don't want to walk in on this. They know the trap's going to be laid, but at the same time, they are unknown Pokemon on the opposite end. Going to deny him of the rifle. This A site right for the pickings, but it seems like Finn's going to try to beat them out to the cause. Smoke's going to block off for the bomb plant, but headshot special has to get ready for the potential. Walk through the smoke. Finn's not going to dedicate it just yet.
Could have been the double.
Team's going to be playing off this flank really yet again from Banana.
Yeah, this flank is going to be detrimental to remove Nox off position. You take Nox off, this defense is half split, but they've not cleared. Oh no!
I love it.
Nox!
I love it.
Oh, he uses Hex for the hatch, and a lead to a God's Rain victory. This retake still on full fold. Evil Prince with the lead. Just rolling them in towards the side. This off. 6-9. Wasted potential. They haven't lost all hope just yet. They string together a miracle couple of rounds in the last dying segment of that first half that keeps them afloat. A pistol round victory, and they're right back in it in the second half, folks.
Oh, but it has not been comfortable at all. So as we swap sides here for Wasted Potential to see if they can mount this comeback after that crazy last round of the half, let's step away for a second. We'll be back soon with that second. Short little break, but here we are, second half of Inferno between Wasted Potential and God's Reign. And man, low-res chicken. At the end of that half, Wasted Potential, I thought they were a little bit worse for wear, but heading into this next one, it is going to be their chance to see if they can take their lead.
Well, they walk into the stack here, so with God's Reign, kind of the unpredictable. And at this point, Nox really needs to live up to the surprise, and the punch really does thrive through what was a chaotic hit. A 1 versus 2 for Crazy Gamer. Has to beat a 50,
Bombs
so
down.
Does have the leverage of range. Velocity
Now
needs to take his fight smart, because the bomb is down and the wraparound's coming through Banana, so he needs to give Yellow Flash a nice timing window to work with. They are playing this very well. Crazy Gamer needs to make his move and needs to have some initiative on this one versus Clutch.
You don't want to isolate both these kills. You're going to listen for that sound cue. Peek out together. Doesn't get better than that. And this was the win condition that you set for Wasted Potential. A pistol round, and they could be right back in this.
Now, if Wasted Potential do this in a very clean manner, they'll have a boatload of utility to complement the next 2 rounds. This is a round where I assume they'll go for a couple of MP9s, maybe a Mag 7. You'd really like to farm up that cash, right? Especially if you're a person like Eagle Prince who's really been tearing it up on that op. The early investment into the op will make a world of difference, especially when the game is this close. I think we're just gonna have a quick round restart there, and yeah, at these kind of rounds, especially in the next 2 rounds, those smart decisions that you make in terms of your investment really pays tenfold, Seymour. And those decisions were taken by God's Reign when they were needed and necessary in the first half. Wasted Potential really need to follow in that footstep.
It is the big question.
There we go. MP9 in the bag, baby.
It was the big question that we had even in our first match of the day, too, is when we swap sides, are you able to, recreate that pressure that was put on against you? Random 5, they weren't able to, create that situation. Wasted Potential. Now with that pistol round, it seems like they can put themselves in a lot better, I guess, of a running here against God's Reign. Especially considering that last couple rounds that they were able to scrounge towards their T side. 8 on the horizon for themselves. However, with these deagles in hand of God's Reign, you can never count them out.
I can't believe this. I can't. Like, I'm done. Dude, this is some next level. I can't even call this luck, Luck is a skill at this point. This is some next level SA action that simply hasn't changed.
It's practice.
Like, I remember this from 2018. Some things are just written in stone. Some things just don't change down here in South Asia.
It's just with how long this game's been going on. I know we got CS2 over, coming up soon, but I mean, with these things are just etched into these gamers' brains. They know exactly what they're doing at this point. Solo hold from Evil Prince. Oh, 100%. The CSGO culture runs deep.
Yeah, the SACSGO culture, especially these decos, still might be a threat as there are 2 deagles left on God's Reign. Wasted Potential. After that first frag, every fight that they take slightly induces PTSD. But hey,
it does, but damage control has been fantastic from Wasted Potential. They haven't allowed anything else to go the way of God's Reign for the moment. Here's going to be a chance for Velocity to see if he can close this out. Yeah, Flynn's going to be looking the wrong way. So an 8th round collected, and the 2 M4s living towards your next round. That is going to be exactly what you would have hoped for as, maybe a worst case scenario for Wasted Potential.
I maybe would have hoped for at least one more farmer staying alive. That way you have more of an economy. But hey, it is what it is, and at this point it's 9-8, right? It's the closest that we've ever gotten. Wasted Potential now stand a chance of forcing the equalizer. They have a lot of utility, so taking deep banana control, it could be on the table. If not, MP9, decent position to make it work. Although Revan, dude, these Mac 10 drive-bys have just been a disastrous thing for you to deal with. Hey, they found the opening. Looks like
was the Mac 10 just buffed today or something?
I mean, I'm not sure if they're buffed, but hey, them forcing the issue, I thought they're going to disengage. It seems like it even caught Wasted Potential off guard for a second. At least it's a 3v3, at least they stabilize. They have a little bit of utility to set together a good retake here. I hope that they play the numbers.
All gas, no brakes for God's Reign. Bomb down. No flank potential here from Wasted Potential, so it is going to be all eyes forward for these 3 locked in on site. Now looking to work his way out. Ember going to be shut down now. All down to 1. Yellow Flash going to be caught by Finn. And yeah, unbelievable round from God's Reign. Off of the back of the Mac 10 in the hand of Revan. Running it right down. These drive-bys have been such a game changer today.
Dude, the surprise factor is the fact that they decided to re-hit, you know? After the first frag, they chilled for like a second. I assumed, okay, they're gonna hit the brakes, they're gonna relax, they're gonna recompose themselves. Nah, they just W'd back. Alright, that was a round that Wasted Potential are gonna be kicking themselves about, as it extends the lead for God's Reign. These Deagles have been quite the terror, but hey, so is the Smack 10. And Crazy Gamer still fancies his chances on this attack. That means he's gonna farm way more money than he's supposed to on this T side. Although he's quickly removed from the picture. They found that opening. They might find themselves a Mac 10. Close range. This thing's a beast, baby. And Yellow Flash. Oh, he got flanked. Well handled by God's Reign. They know how to deal with their own medicine.
Exactly. I love the wide swing coming through, understanding, you know, the potential of that Mac 10 falling into the hands of your enemy. They don't want to give those close range battles. They don't want to make it any more chaotic than it already is. So,
exactly.
Wasted Potential. I mean, they get shut down from tying us up at 9, and now God's Reign looking to push this back to a 3-round lead. Headshot special. I mean, putting his name to at least good use. Gonna find yet another kill here with the P250, and at this moment, he's just hoping somebody gets over aggressive and gives him an AK, but that's not gonna happen.
At this point, I wouldn't even mind a timeout, dude. This is a very good position to try and reset yourself, as it still allows you to keep the game close. With the potential, doesn't look like they're gonna go in for it, though. God's Reign, more than enough money. They'll have the buy back in, 5 AKs, a boatload of utility on the other side. A lot of key pieces of utility missing. You don't have Molotovs, you don't have smokes, you don't have flashes. Always the potential. If they use a couple of these utils early, I think it forces them to commit to that position, man. It's a tough situation to be in, of course, but this is where you need to show resilience. CS, as a game, still allows you to win rounds like these. And hey, God's Reign, they want to try keeping things fairly simple. You don't see them split as much as they do in the rounds prior, right? They've let go of 8. They're just sending it into this B side and this double setup. Holy set to deal with such a play. The opening, well denied.
Are they going to double clear?
Looks to be theirs. Oh, it's a double! Unbelievable. Okay, a chance.
Not expecting the second person to be tucked away in that corner. This is where good players become great players at that one, but as the smoke goes away, Velocity's going to get caught, and that's going to put Wasted Potential in an even worse spot for this retake, especially considering both of these players going to be caught in individual engagements as soon as the first gets seen. I love this call to disengage from God's Reign. Back yourself onto the site. Play for these trades as you do have that numbers advantage. They don't know yet where Nox will be set up. Not able to find those first shots. There's it into the close corners. Both players into the pillars. Revan's going to swing out. Yellow Flash now, 1 versus 2. Can he get it done? Vermont's going to be in hands. Can't get past the first. God's Reign continuing to push forward.
Dude, that microplay, like you perfectly highlighted, they stabilized themselves after that plan. They're like, okay, there's a 2v3. We don't know where that second player is. We do not want to get sandwiched or crunched. Let us take the fight when we know where they are on our turf and on our terms. There's the potential. A couple of those fights, especially the one that Velocity gave away, I kind of feel like heavily swayed the round. If Velocity would have held on to his horses, he would have maybe set up for an equal retake. This round, wasted potential. I think this one guy suffered a disconnect. Yellow Flash died early at mid. 3v5. Things being as bleak. Being the bleakest they've ever been. As this best of one surely starts to look like a death sentence.
Yeah, this best of one just gets hit harder and harder. From both sides, I guess. Or I guess from Wasted Potential for sure. Now that that disconnect has come in. But other than that, God's Reign, they just keep getting better and better as these rounds go forward. Ever since that first round that they find with those Deagles in hand, they just continue to keep it dangerous. We get a match pause here. I expect it to be a technical pause for Wasted Potential side. But like I was saying, God's Reign, I mean, low-res chicken, they just keep getting better and better as these rounds go forward. It's that comfortability that we were talking about earlier on, and as they get more comfortable throughout this game, you can see the confidence is just oozing out of them in these gunfights that they are taking, and it seems like they can do no wrong on these these entries into sites, working together like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, in games like these, I like to quote one of the best Dota players in history, No Tail. There's this one famous interview that he gave where he was describing on how you win a game of Dota. Dota is a simple game of chess. It's becomes really easy when you break your enemy's mind, but some minds are really hard to break though. And in this sense, God's Reign have their formula. They have a good understanding of how they want to play, and there's nothing that Waste the Potential have been doing or have done that deters that kind of a game style yet. Waste the Potential haven't won a single round in this second half ever since the pistol, if memory serves me right. So things really haven't been going that direction. In at least a small, you know, see, sometimes I left the cuff on Hopium. So at this point, I want
Oh, I'm right there with you.
these players on Waste the Potential to at least have a small mental reset on this technical timeout. You're not really able to talk to each other, but I think like a little time where you can reflect on yourself, you can just have a breather and not worry about anything. Just those 3 minutes where you mentally reset your mind. You know what you're playing for, you know what you are, and you know how you can win this.
Are they playing
That's
through
what's going to
this?
make the difference. I think they are. All right. 4v5.
4 versus
As
5. I
things
mean,
were in league
I'm right there
already.
with you. I mean, even if it's a few seconds, not having to have that pressure on you to set up so early can go a long way. So let's see if Wasted Potential individually can step up to the plate. Evil Prince getting the timing of a life
Oh my
of
God,
these
and
flashes.
Buzo,
They have no idea.
you.
Bomb's gonna be down. Can't get a third, and on the inside of the bomb site, it's gonna be Crazy Gamer just pave way for the rest of the team. Nox, not sure he's gonna be ready for this MAC 10 to be so close. But eventually, I mean, the communication should be there to check this one. Nox gonna have to go out of his mind to get this one done, and it seems like he's gonna wait a little bit for his teammate
Oh my
to back
God, the
him up.
smackdown.
Crazy Gamer clears it, checks it. Smoke gives it away. Yellow flash is gonna fall, and God's Reign ever so closer to a best of 1 win.
Dude, the Smackdown has been just something different tonight. Sheesh. I'm not gonna play MM for 2 days just because of what we're seeing. Waste potential. I mean, hey, kudos to them, right? They weren't able to get their players back. They're still deciding to play this through. They don't want to surrender. They still want to give it their all. At that point, this is a Warriors mentality, right? Win or lose, they don't get
Oh,
the
yeah.
play.
You win together, you lose together. For Wasted Potential, at this moment, they feel like they can do as much as they
Brilliant.
possibly can to at least keep this one close. But yeah, like you said, I mean, lovely flash out from Crazy Gamer to take that initial fight. And that's the sight. Done. God's Reign. Well on pace to closing out this game quickly as can be for Evil Prince. At M4, no longer going to be in his hands. Velocity, same goes for his Famas. So, 15 rounds for God's Reign, and things looking, like you said prior to this one, very bleak for Wasted Potential now in this 4 versus 5. It's unfortunate, for sure. You don't want to put your teammates in this position, but here we are.
Hey, I've been there, dude. I feel this kind of pain. I was playing a Valorant tournament when it released, and one of my teammates just disconnected his internet straight. So, at least here he tried, At least here they tried. And hey, God's Reign, they to some extent got a good run for their money. Sure, it's 15-8 on the scoreboard now, but a couple of these rounds. Oh, what the hell, rep? Nice troll, bro. But yeah, a couple of the rounds that we did get to see on the first half, if they went the other direction, it could have easily been Wasted Potential. So I think you've got to give them respect here for the kind of performance that they put on display. And hey, this is the best of 1, right? It's bound to be unpredictable. It's bound to be something similar to this. But in a best of 3, hopefully that they can change the story later on. I hope that they get to this stage, Wasted Potential, that players certainly have historic relevance in the scene. They have really great players in their roster, but a couple of unfortunate situations that did pan out in the first and the second half, namely that disconnect, did lead us to go down this route. But hey, yeah, God's Reign, they proved why they're the heavy favorites heading into this tournament. They proved why they've had this show of form for the past few months, and that just seems to be a trend that continues, Seymour.
Yeah. I mean, going into that second half, I think the ball was in the court of wasted potential to see exactly what they were made of on their CT side. As soon as they were denied that 9-9 tie throughout there on CT, those 3 rounds in a row would have been crucial for them to really change momentum. But as God's Reign got those rifles in their hands, they just were making no mistakes. They were trading together. They were using their utility to execute onto site together. They were really overwhelming a lot of these individual players on wasted potential. So as the game went on, as things started to fall away from wasted potential, you can see that they were getting frustrated. And yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have to talk about that disconnect for the future of their pro league matches. It's not what you want to see at all. A player leaving in the game towards the end, but for wasted potential, is a little bit troublesome indeed to be thinking about for your future.
I mean, a couple of those rounds are a couple where you really can't break into them. It's timing that betrayed them from certain occasions, and you've seen those highlight plays with the peek through mid where the op from God's Reign really didn't give two hoots. The kind of dynamic positioning of that op as well. So there are a couple of rounds where I feel like wasted potential could take away from, namely on those couple of rounds where they could have started their early round a little better, layered their util in such a way where they could have dodged a little bit of the early presence in towards banana. Hey, it's a best of one, right? Things like this are bound to happen. That's the reason that we play CS. We could very easily have seen this gone the other way if on a couple of those rounds, the 2 versus 2 and the 2 versus 3 goes the way of waste potential. We would have been down the lines of maybe even an 8-7 favoring waste potential. God's Reign, in a lot of those circumstances, discipline is what favored them. I think one situation that will brim on everybody's minds is that 3v3 retake on that B side where Velocity could have been playing the more passive role, but he goes aggressive and that smoke dissipates, Ember demolishes him, and the round's done. So rounds like those really are what you need to focus on, how you play with your teammates and how you're trying to set up situations to your advantage rather than playing it as a 1vx situation, played as a 3v3.
Yeah, I mean, as we said towards the end of our last series as well, I mean, just small little mistakes separating you from, what could have been a potential win here for wasted potential. They looked good at points. We saw some highlights from this team. We saw some highs, we saw some lows, and towards the end, they end on a pretty low note, but there's always time, as we said, towards a random 5 for them to turn it around here in this league. But for you and I, that's going to be it for this series. We do have a scoreboard to look at towards the end of that, and I wouldn't mind checking out what we were ending on for a lot of these God's Reign players, because I feel like if there's anything that we can take off of this game, it's that, this God Reign team, even though they were starting to get, worked on towards the end of that first half, going into the second half, they lose the pistol, they lose the bonus. Soon as they get those rifles in their hands, their T-side executions on Inferno were, second to none. They were working together flawlessly to take those sites.
Exactly, and in a couple of those rounds, dude, it didn't even fall into precise gunplay, like that flank in through banana. They whiffed the opening frag, but it still forced them into that B side. A lot of uncomfortable fights were then taken care of. So, yeah, moments like those, dude, you really look at them and you're like, oh, did we actually fall for that? Damn, I can't believe it. But hey, it is what it is. And like you said, that scoreboard, it could be a little deceiving, especially in terms of the rounds that you see on each side, but hey, the frags on each of those individuals are what counts, right? Ember went ham at places where he really wasn't supposed to. I was really hoping for a velocity show today. I was hoping for much more of, the individual prowess that not only he has to offer, but the rest of his team. Because again, a player like Velocity, him being I think close to 28 at this point, again, it's donkey's years that he's been in the scene. Seeing him still compete at the top of it and seeing him still tear people apart is what keeps me going and gives me motivation to load in aim labs on a daily.
Yeah, well, we can take a look at that scoreboard too. I mean, just to see the numbers towards the end for these players. Yeah, I mean, I was right alongside you. You were hyping up Velocity going into this one, ending 12 and 19. Definitely not the best showing from him individually, but where he kind of fell down, Evil Prince really stepped up in a lot of those rounds. I mean, I think back over towards their T side when he pulled out the AWP, you saw Evil Prince really making some moments out of nothing for the side
Yeah.
of wasted potential, but met by a lot from the ends of God's Reign. I think, Revan, his dynamic op style was definitely something that was tested over towards the T side of wasted potential. You look at Pokemon, the amount of times that I saw Pokemon flanking through Banana or flanking through A main, there were so many times when I saw Pokemon get some kills for free without wasted potential even checking on him. So there's so many moments where God's Reign just had so much of, I guess, composure throughout Inferno, so much control over the pace of play, so much information on what to do next, that they just truly never seemed like they were out of the lead.
And again, Amber getting a little lost amidst the action as he was not getting a lot of multi frags, but the frags that he did get were important trades that kept the interests of God's Reign alive in a lot of those late round situations. So, special kudos to him. I think I'm going to meet him. If I'm not wrong, he is playing in the God's Reign bootcamp in Bangalore as well. So, again, a couple of these players are players who are trying to get on a redemption arc of themselves, right? Ember, he used to be one of the biggest tier 2 up and coming talent in csgo back in the day, switched games to Valorant, had his tier 1 experience then. Now he's back in CS, just ripping the scene to shreds. So he's a redemption story that I've been really liking on how it's transformed and from where it came, because I remember playing pugs against him. I remember seeing him in my average 7 p.m games. I have seen how his strives and tribulations have come in fruit to make him a more complete player, which is something that's helped God's Reign's run in form for the last few months. And hey, you never know how long this goes, right? This year might be coming to an end soon. We might be getting CS too soon. There's a lot of things that happen over the horizon, and not only for God's Reign, but a lot of these teams that are in this tournament, right? Like Wasted Potential, like LOT, like Marcos Gaming, are looking at that horizon of opportunity and looking for a place uh, amongst greatness for themselves.
Well, there's plenty of opportunity for the future of CSGO for a lot of these players. It's lovely to see how they evolve, especially throughout this league, too, when we're seeing it. So day 2, looking to come out to a close. Thank you so much, Low Res Chicken. It was lovely holding onto the mic with you all day long.
Likewise,
But
man.
for today, that is going to be all for now. For Blink Entertainment, we will see you tomorrow with a little bit more of this Pro League. Same time, same place. We'll see you there. Have a great night, everyone.
And again, a huge shout out to our sponsors to make this tournament come alive. Our media partner, AFK Gaming, our radio partner, MYFM, our community partner, QLAN, streaming partner, Geo Games, and our smart screen partner, Glance. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Darling, if I had bought you flowers, what if you stayed at home that night? Yeah, I've been lonely counting hours while I'm getting blinded by the light. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him. You should fucking stay with him. Break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart.
When I'm up through the night, I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind about who I'm supposed to be. I start to believe I can't get it right. Remember the days I let slip away, they were simpler times. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Maybe my compass was wrong, and I'm still on my way closer each day to where I belong. I'm still rolling the dice, praying sometimes it don't last it long. I'm losing my faith, I'm walking away from what you knew all along. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. Child, don't forget who you are. Don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars. You'll be dancing, dancing on the moon.
Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon, and I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Ain't got no place to call my own. Feels like I'm better off alone. So sad inside and hopeless. These Hollywood hoes never notice. Can't get back on. You're gone, girl, I miss you. Can't get back on. You're gone, girl, I miss you. Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon, and I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect.